Welcome to another episode of Cocktailer Neats. I'm Heather.
And I'm Tim.
And I got to do a pick tonight of something that I have been interested in wanting to try. It is a special season around here in Louisville. There's just this little race coming up called the Derby.
Yep.
And it's a pretty exciting time here in Louisville. We do a lot of events that lead up to it. So, you know, Four Roses is one of those very classic Kentucky bourbons that gets featured a lot. Of course, Derby is a run for the roses, and then you have the Four Roses. And I am curious because Four Roses is kind of confusing to me sometimes because there's different bottle shapes and all these different recipes. He talks about these recipes all the time. OBSV, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know. So I thought, you know, let's do a little comparison tonight. So changing it up a little, let's do two together. And like, tell me the differences between these two different Four Roses, because to me they look completely different with these two bottles. So what's going to be different about these, and what's with the recipe? Teach me.
Okay, so Four Roses is a smaller distillery. They did a lot of things over in Japan, and they actually kind of quit in America or really scaled it down for a while. And then with bourbon coming back, they brought everything back over. And so what they are known for is they have 10 different recipes.
10, okay.
10. So they've got 5 different yeast strains and 2 different mash bills.
Okay.
And then they're all labeled. So as you can see, if you ever pick one up, on the labels they always have them. So they got OBSK, OBSV, and so on. So you've got OEs and OBs. So the B is one mash bill and the E is the other mash bill. And then the final letter, the V, the K, the F, all of those things are the different yeast strains. And the different yeast strains and mash bills give them different flavors. So one thing a lot of people will do is they'll collect the barrel strength single barrels, because those you can get in every single recipe. And so they want to collect all 10.
So it's like really unique.
Yes. So they're very different, each and every one of them. So if you ever get the chance of doing like a barrel pick at Four Roses, they bring out 10 barrels because it's one of each recipe. And then you just pick which one's your favorite type of thing. So what we have here tonight is 2 very easy to find Four Roses bottles. Okay. You've got the Four Roses single barrel. So this is not a barrel strength, even though it looks like the bottle. The barrel strength has this strip here, and then off to the side it's got all of this just the same, but it says barrel strength on it, not single barrel. And so this is just one recipe, which is the OBSV. Okay. And it's 100 proof. Okay. This is their newest offering, which is the small batch select. Now with the small batch and the small batch select, it's a blend of their recipes. So this one has OBSV, OBSK, OBSF, OESV, OESK, and OESF. Okay. All blended together to give you this. This is also $50-ish. Okay. So you've got 2 very similar bourbons from Four Roses. One just a single blend, one a blend of stuff. Both are about the same proof. This one's 100 and this one's 104. Okay.
So like this is from one recipe, but it's been brought down to 100 proof.
Yes.
Whereas if you got the barrel strength, that is like straight from the barrel.
Yep. So that's going to be like 115 to 124 proof.
But it's still all, because it's from the barrel, just the one recipe.
Right, exactly.
So they're pretty similar, just they might have done a little doctoring to this. Yeah. Okay. But this one is blends. That's interesting.
Yes.
And there was a lot of them. You listed a lot. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different ones.
Okay. So they might be very different.
They will be very different, yes.
Okay. So the one on the left, the one we're going to start with, is
the single barrel 100 proofer.
Okay. Very light nose. Very sweet.
Yes. And as with all Four Roses products, a lot of floral to it.
Yeah. Right now I'm mostly just getting brown sugar and caramel.
Yep, I
So
get
it's
that
really
too.
nice. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I got all those floral notes
Yes.
on the taste buds there.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you get all those sweet notes, of course. I would say you get some caramel. There's some vanilla, but it very quickly transitions to a bunch of floral, spices, and you get a little bit of a Kentucky hug on the finish, which you wouldn't expect for a 100 proofer. Like, there's a lot of 100 proofers that you don't feel any of that burn.
Yeah, that's
But this
true.
one lets you know there's
Yeah, there's
something
a
there.
little bit. It's still easy to drink. Nothing like when I say it gets really harsh and I'm like,
Right.
it doesn't feel like that. Definitely can identify it as the Kentucky hug, like you said.
Yes.
Because kind of like that warm, like spices. There's definitely spice on the back, I think.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I wish I could identify all the floral things that I'm tasting, but it comes in and then it's really quick, and then it goes away for me.
I would say maybe honeysuckle, just because all those sweet notes, and then you get some other stuff in there. I don't know, maybe honeysuckle.
I would agree with that because there's kind of a honey note going on with this too. Yeah, honeysuckle.
Yeah, and then the finish sticks around. It's a peppery finish, and then also just some herbal notes in there. It's a very pleasant, very good bourbon.
Okay, well I'm gonna save some to
Okay.
maybe come back to it. So now on to the small batch select.
Yes.
Which has some OBSV in it,
Yes.
correct? So maybe some notes will come out in this, perhaps?
Maybe.
I don't know if that is how it works.
The nose is much more complex. There's a lot more to it.
Oh, wow. I'm getting way more of the floral notes
Yes.
on this one that you said is kind of a signature of
Four
Four
Roses,
Roses.
yes.
Oh, wow. That was a lot smoother for me,
Yes.
taste-wise.
And
Like there wasn't that like back end spice as much.
No.
They are pretty different.
They're very different.
I would say the single barrel was much sweeter to me.
Yes.
This one's not quite as sweet.
I would say there's more going on here, but I almost feel like I'm gonna get nerdy on you as a physicist here. So when you have multiple sound waves come together, they start to cancel each other out.
Right.
I feel like there's some canceling out here. There's a lot more distinct flavors in this one, and this one kind of gets, I almost want to say, muted.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, in the spirit of our channel, I think right off the bats, I'm leaning towards this being drink neat, and this one could be used in a cocktail.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is blended together in such a way that you get the distinct Four Roses notes, but nothing in it that sets it apart. And so, you could absolutely blend it into something and be fine with that. This has got enough setting it apart and being different. And it could just be that we got a really good single barrel here.
Okay.
But it's definitely could be drink neat. This is good.
It is good.
But
like it drinks very nice.
Yes.
So, whatever, throw a couple ice cubes in, you probably could just sit there and sip it. But you could also have a lot of fun making a cocktail with this.
Yeah, and I wouldn't feel bad about putting this in a cocktail either.
Yeah.
Because you can get this really easy. Yes, it is in the $50 price range, which is more expensive for a cocktail bourbon. But as we've talked about many times, the more you spend on a quality liquor to put in your cocktail, the better
Your
the
cocktail's
cocktail's
going to be.
So.
Yes. Yeah, I would highly recommend. Yeah. Well, it's one of those too where it's versatile. So, you can enjoy the cocktail, but then you could some nights just have a pour of it as just a sample to taste it as well.
Yeah. And this would be a good one that if you have friends that want to get into bourbon or want to get into Four Roses, they haven't tried that, make a good quality cocktail with this and give them a sidecar.
Yeah.
And then they can pull out the flavors that the bourbon is giving the cocktail.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Well, for me, the clear winner is the single barrel.
Yeah. Go back to that nose. Yeah, it's so sweet. I really am just getting, the brown sugar bomb going on.
Yep, and that's always my weak point. But as much as I love the brown sugar bomb I get in this, it's got a better finish on it too. So overall,
it does. Yes.
The complexity is there. I will say this one I think has the better nose though. It has more going on in the beginning.
It is nice. Like, don't get me wrong. This is still really nice. Like, we're not shooting it down.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So recommendations now, like if you see both of these, do you do one or the other or just get both of them?
I think it depends on what you want. If you want a good bourbon to sip neat, go with this. If you want a bourbon to sip neat, but you also enjoy cocktails, go with this guy right here. And then, of course, the one caveat that we all know is if you see barrel strength, you just buy it. Don't ask. Just do it.
Just do it.
It's $80, but it's really hard to find. Like, it's pretty much impossible.
It is tough.
It is Derby season, so Four Roses is amazing and does a whole bunch of Derby.
They do a lot of picks.
Inspired barrel strength picks, and I try to go get them all. But even now, so it's Kroger that does them. They had 100 people in line 3 hours before they released and sold out pretty much instantly. So,
yeah, not surprising.
Yeah.
But I do want to say we've done a tasting of one of the barrel strengths, right? So if you're interested in that video, link it below.
I think we have. I don't know, we've done enough.
Pretty sure we have.
Oh, yeah, we did the
very
OBS.
Early on.
Yeah, we did the OBS V, I think is
another
what it was.
B. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
See? I don't know.
So, yeah.
It was good. I remember it was very good. And I got told that it would not be put in a cocktail.
Correct.
That's how I remember it.
Yes.
I was told it was off limits.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, she knows, one of my dreams is to get all 10 recipes of the barrel strength lined up and blind them all off and then figure out what one is the best. So then I know just which one to hunt all the time and then I don't have to have all of them. But let's be honest, any barrel strength Four Roses I see, I would just buy.
Yeah, fair enough. So, well, thanks for teaching me about this and, of course, teaching everybody else out there. Yeah. And I hope you all can get your hands on some Four Roses, some of these special ones that we pointed out, and let us know what you think about the different recipes that you've tried.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in and watching us, and we hope to see you back here for another episode.